Hi friends, Jen the Money Medium here. What is it going to take for you to move in the direction of your fears? How do you even acknowledge what your fears are? We haven't been taught to do that. We've been taught to just veer away from fear and stay away from fearful situations. But our innate emotion of fear can actually lead us to a much more creative, co-creative, intentionally creative, and abundant lives. So that's what we're talking about today. And a lot of people don't quite understand that. They think, why would I ever move in the direction of fear? That sounds crazy. Like, why would I put myself through that kind of thing, right? So the truth is, when you're creating, you're going to come up. When you're putting yourself out there in the world in different ways than you ever have, when you're doing things that you never knew you'd do, when you're trying new things, when you're stepping up, when you're up leveling, when you're having meetings with people that you never thought you'd have meetings with, right? You will come up against fear and anxiety and panic and worry all the time. It will become part of your lifestyle. So you need to get used to fear and start using it as a compass. So what I mean by that is when you feel fear, right? Let's say you're about to do something huge that you've never done before. Maybe you're doing a live speaking event and you've never done it before. You're going to go through all the nerves. Even if you've done it 100 times, 1,000 times, you're still going to have the nerves. Madonna always said she still had nerves up until, every time she has a concert or does a live performance, even though she is like the queen at it, she still gets nervous, right? It's just part of putting yourself out there. It's a bit of vulnerability included as well. Fear in that way is also connected to vulnerability. And we know that we only grow when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable. You never grow when your back is up and your ego is running the show and you hold everything so rigid and tight. There's no growth in that, right? So how do you use fear to help guide you, to help you with the process? Here's the trick. When you realize even holding an idea of something creates a little lump in your belly or a lump in your throat or has that like, oh, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do that. I want you to stop right there and mentally face yourself right to that fear and acknowledge it. I am afraid of this. I've never done this before. My nerves are hot. Like I could have a nervous breakdown. I have anxiety about this. I'm a little panicked. I'm scared. That's okay. State it all. State everything. My heart is beating fast. I'm sweating. I'm nervous. Whatever it is. Okay? And then move directly towards that intentionally. Don't let it stop you. Move intentionally towards that. Even if it feels uncomfortable, even if it feels like too much, even if when we say, make your life easy and simple, if this feels like it's outside of that ease and simplicity, take it on, move towards it. You can handle more than you know you can handle. You can take on more than you know you can take on. You can show up for more than you know you can show up for. But you're never going to know what you're capable of if you stop right in front of fear. If you let it stop you, you never get to know what you're capable of. So let it guide you instead. Let it become a tunnel that you walk through, right? and learn all of the different things that you can do for yourself so that you're supported when you're taking things like that on. So if you know that before you're going to speak at a live event, your nerves get a little crazy, make sure you've got somebody there to support you, or somebody you can call just before that can talk to you or do some tapping with you, or, you know, just help guide you through the process. Maybe you know that you get a dry mouth when you're nervous. Make sure you've always got water. Maybe there's a certain food that helps calm you down, or a certain way that you eat. Proteins can be very grounding, and fear can be not grounded at all. It can be really out there in the ethers. So do things that you know support you when you're taking on something that will cause fear. You want to almost be living in a place, if you're a creator, an entrepreneur, a freelancer, and or anything. If you're just taking on fear, it doesn't matter how in your life, you're doing something different than you've never done before. Make sure that you're setting yourself up to be supported throughout the fear process. Don't try to take that all on by yourself. And a lot of people during that fear process, they decide to become rigid about everything, right? Oh, suddenly we're going to go on a strict diet, and we're going to juice, and we're going to become the healthiest we can be, and we're going to not drink any alcohol or smoke, or all of a sudden you just become really rigid about everything. And that does not actually help you. It doesn't help you. If you want to quit those things or not do those things, take that on at a different time when your fear isn't high. Then, because what you do when you decide to become rigid about everything, when you're taking on a fear process, you actually are sabotaging by not supporting yourself, by not giving yourself the comforts that you're used to when you're moving through a fear process. Okay? I hope that that is inspiring for you all. Don't be afraid of fear. You know, you'll know when it's too much. You will. But dare yourself, challenge yourself to move in the direction of fear. Every once in a while, it will serve you well, and it'll actually challenge your stress response. You only grow in that stress response when you take things on. Then less things become stressful because you are playing with stress at a different level consistently. When you never play with stress or fear, even the smallest thing will stress you out completely. So this is about growing and expanding and living your best, right? Becoming more of who you are out there in the world. Lots of love. I'm Jen the Money Medium. Don't forget to subscribe if you've liked this content, and I look forward to seeing you soon.